So welcome everyone. I'm sorry, there was some technical issues the moment when we started. So welcome again. So thanks for joining on today's session on migrating to the HWX user experience. So which is our second set of sessions on the all new HWX. Okay. So on today's session, I'll be majorly taking you through you to some of the new interface. What do you call the key functionalities, some of the workflows, and also the overview of the tool. So I'm not anything that's specifically talking or showcasing you on on any some certain functionalities, but an overview is the tool which is something which I'm supposed to take it to every one of you. So to get started with, my name is Prajwal. I'll be working as a technical specialist from Altair. So along with me, so I have my colleague Anjan and Swapnil, who will also be helping me out on certain things. Basically, I mean, if you have any questions regarding during my presentation, you can write it down in the chat so that Anjan or Swapnil can able to try to answer their best. Okay. Let me put it to the PowerPoint mode. In the meantime, if any of you has any queries, as I said, please write on the chat. And if there is any issue in hearing out, or if you cannot able to see my screen, please ping us back. Okay. The first slide which I really wanted to showcase is on the evolution of Hypermesh. So what you can all see is that, let me just turn off my camera just for a minute. Okay. So basically, I'll be talking about the evolution of Hypermesh. Like since 3 or 4 decades earlier, we have been initially started developing the Hypermesh. Then it was, just keep on developing soon after the one phase Okay. So it was initially like kind of a commands that we used to run, and later on with the improvement in technology, we adopted all the new technologies, and we have been improved a lot, and here we stand as of today. So this is what the Altair HyperWorks, which is there with this. So when I say migrating of the HyperWorks users or the new interface, so there might be some questions that every one of you might be having, like why, what, and when. So maybe why we need to migrate to newer interface, why we need to use an Altair HyperWorks, or what and when is something which I would like to answer it with another 1 or 2 slides. Okay. When I say why Altair HyperWorks, basically it actually provides an easy to learn and effective workflows. Okay. So any user can leverage its new functionalities, and he can always make use of it. There are in line with that, there are multiple other things that what I really wanted to tell you, which is in terms of a benefit, I would call. You can see a lot of enhanced functionalities. If you are a user of our classic interface, if you're working on any kind of panel-based functionality, the functionality what you work here on the ribbon-based is completely different. The workflow is different, which is pretty much enhanced. And there is an improved efficiency that which you can also able to recognize. We have also worked on many advanced simulation process. The compatibility is another thing. So basically, you can feel a very good user experience, enhanced visualization, basically, and integration and interoperability, increased accuracy, and also support and documentation. So these are some of the what you call benefits that you can able to see when you really start to work with the Altair HyperWorks. So what we all have in the package is that, so we give it as a package, so where an user can simply start building his model. He can run this analysis through the Altair solvers. He can take it to the post processing through the many of our post processing tools like Hyperview, Hypergraph, and so on. And he can also do an extensive reporting job with the report or the report tab that what we have. So it's a complete package that where the user can start the work and do it from scratch to end. Okay. So maybe I'll close this presentation with one last slide. Okay. And I'll be moving to the proper tool. So when I say transition to the newer user experience, there might be few questions which actually are running in everyone's mind. Hey, I have been created a model in the older interface of Hypermesh, and can that model be imported way back into the, can that model be imported back into the newer interface? I would say yes. So any model you created in our legacy Hypermesh can be successfully imported onto the new user interface. Okay. And vice versa. If you work it here, some portion, if you want to take it back, which I don't suggest, okay, you can also basically use that. And there might be other things, like some users may have been developed a lot of scripts which actually meets the demands. In that cases, if that scripts will be usable, or that is compatible with the newer version of HyperWorks? Yes, I would say yes. The newer interface do support the older scripts until and unless there is any kind of entity migration which has been happened. So with this, just as an introduction slides, I'll be straight away moving back to the tool, which is the Altair HyperWorks. Hope everybody can able to see the screen, my HyperWorks window, so I can move it forward. Okay. So this is how the all new Altair HyperWorks looks like. Okay, what you can see, if I really want to do a comparison with the older application, which is our legacy HyperMesh, what you can see here is there was a lot of panels which actually defines the functionality which was has been completely taken off. Okay, so the panels has been migrated as ribbons. So what you can see here is ribbons. Okay, and we can also notice a different menus. We have a geometry menu, we have a mesh menu, we have an element menu, and when you switch between different menus, what you can also see is the ribbons. The functionalities, what you can see here is, we call it as a ribbons. So the ribbons are keep on changing. Suppose if I just click on the geometry ribbon, you can see the well organization of the ribbons in such a way that these functionalities or these ribbons are completely onto the creation of geometry, and some are onto the editing of geometry, and some are onto the cleanup of geometry. Okay, that's well, it has been pretty well organized. Okay, user can switch to any of these ribbons and he can do the activity in a way that how we want it. Okay, so we call all of these items as ribbons. This is menus, or maybe I'll take 1 or 2 minutes on the overview. Later I can move to the exact topic. Okay, so when I say ribbon, what I would also like to showcase you is some other ribbons. I mean, when I click on one of the main ribbon, so you can also see there are second set of items or the functionality which actually pops up. That means, so these are the secondary ribbons, or else we can also call it as a guide bars. Okay, so wherein which user can easily, the moment when you click on the bitmesh, you can use any of this functionality. Maybe you can click on it and you can activate it and you can able to work on it. Okay, that's how one user can make use of any of these ribbons or the secondary ribbons. Lastly, what we also have is when I click on any of these function on these ribbons, see, when I just hover my mouse and if I click on this area, okay, it activates the stitch functionality. Okay, but when I click on this area, it activates the suppress functionality. It means we have certain ribbons which looks like one logo, but it has a multi functionality, which is a multi-state ribbons. Okay, that is something we call. Apart from this, we also have something like satellite icons. You can see on the renumber. Until and unless I just hover my mouse, this particular the thing will not show up. Okay, if I just hover my mouse, it will show up and you can activate it and you can work on it. We call this as the satellite ribbons. So this is all just for the information, something that I will be taking you through. Okay, so the menus part has been done. This is on the ribbons, and we have a bigger modeling area. Okay, and we have the browser area. We have the what do you call the status bar area, and what else we have? Suppose you may say that I'm quite new to HyperMesh and I don't know like where to start with and how to start with it. We provide a very extensive help on this. Okay, so if you go to the file and if you click on the help, basically on the help, so you can find a lot of help which actually shows up. So user can always make use of the help. So you can search on what is that you wanted to see. And if you are an user of older interface and you wanted to see a comparison, basically you wanted to know which is a new functionality or which is a similar functionality which was equivalent to a display panel in the older interface. Okay, so this tabulation tells you about the similar functionality in comparison with the legacy. Okay, in the panel it was called as a display. Now here we call it as a show and hide. If you click on it, it will opens up the respective help and you can start using it. This is something on majorly on the help side. Okay, so apart from that, if you are looking anything extensively on any functionality which you really wanted to know, you just type the keyword in the older functionality what it was. Basically, if I want to find where can I create the rigits, I just type RIGIDS and it will show up all the keywords or the functions which are available in the name of rigits. If you click on it, it will activate that particular functionality and user can make use of it. Okay, so that's on the help. And lastly, I'll go to the geometry, maybe any functionality, maybe on the mesh. So we also do have an interactive help. If you just click on this particular camcorder icon, for almost all the functions we have been provided this. if you just click on this camcorder icon, this camcorder will play a small animation which will tell what that particular functionality will do. I mean, how that particular ribbon will work. Okay, maybe this is all on the help front. So let it be. So okay, the overview part is done. Now let me take you to another thing. I just want to highlight some of the fascinating features in the newer interface. So in order to showcase that, what I'll be doing is like I'll be just try to import a file. So what I have here is an set of files. So we have another functionality called just drag and drop. Just drag the file and drop it here and say okay. No matter what type of file it is, the tool is just simply import. If I just close it off and I can try to show it off. So I'll go to the file, and as right now I have been set to the OptiStruct solver profile. Maybe I'll try this changing to a different solver interface. Maybe I'll make it as Abacus. Okay. And the file, the solver file, which has been, the interface which has been set now. I'll go to my option. I mean the folder, Windows folder, and I'll just try to drag and drop the same HM file. And I would say okay. See, upon opening or upon importing, the tool will also tell that, hey, this file has been saved in a different solver interface, and do you want to change it to its original? I mean, it's always depends on the user whether to change or not. I would say change. You can see the Abacus solver profile interface has been changed to OptiStruct and the file got imported. So that's how, this is one of the features that, which is kind of a fascinating. User can simply, it's not only supported for the HM files. You can import any of your solver or a CAD files just by drag and drop. And apart from that, what we also have is, if you have the regular or the same old import options, you can import or you can export the same thing, or you can save it from the file drop down. Okay, so this is on the other thing. So now you have been seen on the drag and drop of the files. When I say new interface, we also have been worked majorly on the controls, the mouse control. See, I will be using just my one hand to move this model, maybe to translate right to left or top to bottom, up and down. Okay, if I want to rotate again, so we have this model. So when I wanted to move this, as I said, like you can simply just using your the mouse control, you can able to move it, or you can able to rotate it in a way that you can hold the center mouse button, and you can also even try to rotate the model. Okay, by any chance, if you want to pan or something, you can use your scroll button, scroll to pan. Okay. So basically, this is all on the control front. So if I just right click on the menu, so what we can also have is some certain context menus. Okay, the right click functionality has some of the other functions. Okay, basically, if you want to hide it, if you want to show a model, if you want to display, or if you want to reverse it, everything can be done with a right click. So this is one way where user can actually hide a model. So the other way around is what we have here is idle bar. Okay, from the idle bar, user can easily select the type of entity that what you wanted to choose, and he can also do the similar activity. If I just want to showcase that, maybe what I'll be doing is like I'll be just turning off all my cat from one of the hide functionality, and I'll be going to select it as component maybe. Okay, so if you wanted to hide anything, basically, okay, you can just select that component, and you can use the shortcuts either with the right click, or you can just press H. The moment when you press H, so that particular component is actually going to hide. And if you want to isolate it, or if you want to reverse it, just press R on your keyboard, which is reversing. So this is basically or majorly on the selection front or on the masking front. If you wanted to display everything, just press A on your keyboard. So basically, it also displays everything. So the what do you call the things has been made very easy in terms of an user. If you wanted to use it in a very easiest terms. Okay. So that's something which I really wanted to showcase on the basically on the control front, basically. Okay. Next, what I can also take you through is querying. So basically, what I wanted to showcase is on the different functionalities what we have basically on the browsers, or maybe on some of the tools like the match tool. If I just go to the assembly, what we also have is something called match tool. So where user can easily pick all the parts, and he can ask the tool to check for the match sequence. Okay, so if the tool is actually if the different component which is actually matching up a certain percentage, the tool will create a different part set, and user can just make use of creating element or a different thing on one of the part, and you can also able to do a sync on that. So this is something which I would also like to showcase maybe on the match tool, because due to this particular the issue, maybe I'm not able to show. Let's see like what best I can do. What else I have is some other functionality which is related to the geometry. Maybe we have many functionalities in the geometries, like what do you call when I go to the surface, what we have like extend. If you want to extend any surface, if you want to do a cross extend, so that is something which is very easily that user can able to do. Maybe possible I can able to showcase you a video on that, because when I go to the extend, and if I click on the camcorder, see if you want to extend any surface, you just select that particular edge and the tool will extends it. Okay, so what we also have here is like we have some auto trim options. If you upon extending, you can also just click on auto trim and the tool will stops at that particular surface and it will maintains the connectivity between two different surfaces. So we have various functionalities, something like that. So when I go to, so what else I can also what I had plans to showcase is other thing on the connectors. We have a very enhanced functionality in the connectors. So basically something called attachment and connect attachments. This is something if you wanted to do a connection or create connection between two different parts or a subsystem, it is just like a one click of a button. So the moment when you click on that component or on that particular hole, the tool will actually create a rigid spider or a patch on that particular holes, and it will be treated as a current attachments. And the other part is like attachment. This is something that where user can able to connect with two different sub-assemblies basically. Okay, it's all like one click of a button. It would be it actually saves a very good amount of times on all the things. So later on the morph, we have an extensive development which has been happened on the morphing. So we will also be providing an morphing what do you call a session coming maybe in the next week or something. Okay, so basically any mesh what we have is actually ready to morph. It is not something that we need to create some kind of handles and all. So the moment when you try to pick a proper entity type, whether it may be a node, or element, or a edge, the tool can easily constrain or anchor the nodes, and so it can easily calculate the morph area, and it will allow the user to morph in a desired way. So we support a different type of morphing, whether it may be a free morphing, proximity, or the volume morph. So, but these are the tools that which actually make some difference. Okay. So apart from morphing, what we also have is majority of the tools which is on the even in the geometry and the edit element. We have a lot of functionality to edit the element. It's all like just dragging or double clicking on the things. If you want to edit anything on the already created element, if you want to drag it, it is something on the go. If you want to change the certain set of densities on the nodes, just click the edge and you can copy the same density values and you can paste it in a different edge. There are a lot of things that what we support as of today. Apart from this, what I also have is we do supporting a multiple version of HyperWorks in the same session. Basically, I can create multiple sessions in the same session. So where user can use n number of HyperWorks sessions with the one same license, where he can actually make open with a different window setting, and he can able to copy and paste his models, or copy and paste his model. You can just use the Control-C and Control-V of the model, and you can place it in the in another window, and you can synchronize, and also you can work on it. So there are huge events which has been done on many of the other things. So lastly, if I want to talk about on the measure, so measure is something which works with the background of the snaps. So you just hover your mouse on a whole region or any line, it will tell you the length of the line or radius of the line. Or if you want to draw a line, so it will also tell you whether you're drawing a line on a perpendicular way, or if you are just going out from the perpendicularity, something which actually the measure tool also does it for you. I mean, with the help of snaps. So that's something which I wanted to cover it as of today with the time frame what I have, but unfortunately, because due to some issues, I may not able to, do it in a way because of my technical issue. Let's see what best we can do. Maybe we can talk to my team, and I can try to organize one more session on the same thing. Maybe I can able to showcase you all the functionalities, maybe one more time in a proper way. Apologies for that, and thanks everyone for joining, and that's all. Thank you. I'll be winding up the session. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time, and thanks for joining.
Thank you.